better technique because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think.
Anyone that thinks Crawford has a chance is a complete idiot. They have weight classes for a reason.
Too big? Too skilled?
Way too big, way too skilled.
Can he beat him? Can he beat Canelo? Is his skill so much that he's able to bridge the weight classes?
He has a legitimate chance. Over 60% for his mind. If you say, Bernard, give me a number.
Give me a number.
He has an 85+ chance to beat Canelo.
Pros are weighing in on the upcoming Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford clash. Israel Madrimov believes that if the fight goes the full 12 rounds, Crawford has the edge due to his sharp power, high ring IQ, and ability to adapt under pressure. However, he admits it's a close call because Canelo's experience and natural size make the matchup challenging. Ultimately, Madrimov sees this as a true 50-50 battle.
If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think.
Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what do you think about that fight if they did fight? Looks like it's up for September.
Good fight. You know, if 168 pounds, I think it's Canelo, but it's Canelo better technique because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think. If knockout, it's Canelo.
What makes Crawford so difficult to fight against?
He has power, smart, in more practical.
He has more experience.
He's very experienced.
When the idea of Canelo Alvarez facing Crawford first emerged, many predicted Canelo as the heavy favorite. The reasoning was straightforward. Canelo had long fought at higher weight classes, while Crawford was just beginning to move beyond welterweight. Showbiz the Adult initially noted how one-sided the matchup seemed. However, as training footage and images of Crawford surfaced, perceptions shifted. Crawford looked stronger, faster, and fully capable of competing at a bigger weight. This rapid change demonstrates how quickly opinions in boxing can evolve once real preparation and form are visible.
Grounds to stand on. Now, the other second point that I think is becoming a fact is this. This fight was initially kind of a one-sided credited fight, where if Terence Crawford beats Saul Canelo Alvarez, he's on a Mount Rushmore. If Saul Canelo Alvarez beats Bud Crawford, it's kind of like, of course. But now the Bud Buddies has gone across all of social media and attacked social media so impactfully, like a plague, that now it's starting to give more value if Saul Canelo Alvarez wins. And let me tell you what I mean. You cannot tell everybody they're haters and they're stupid for thinking Canelo wins and say, hey, y'all gonna find out come September 13th how great Bud Crawford is. And you speak Crawford up, you know, you say, yeah, you said the same thing about Spence and Crawford that beat all these. You just don't know. You know, you have all these all-time great fighters saying that Crawford wins. So come September 14th, if Saul Canelo Alvarez has beaten Crawford or destroyed him, you can't take it back. You're gonna have to be like, Saul Canelo Alvarez is on Mount Rushmore, right? I mean, you can't go this heavy all over social media, and in which social media controls media. So it's everything. You can't flood social media like this and just wave after wave talk about how Bud is going to whoop Canelo and forget boots and all the preparation, all that stuff. And then if Canelo wins, you don't have the same energy.
Ali Romero represents the skeptics who argue that weight matters in boxing. He bluntly states that divisions are created to maintain fairness and protect fighters from overwhelming physical disadvantages. Romero warns that Crawford, despite his talent, is taking a dangerous risk by moving up so drastically. He believes that skill alone cannot erase the natural size difference, and that Crawford's brilliance at 147 may not translate effectively against a seasoned super middleweight like Canelo.
We got Canelo, we got Terence Crawford. That's going to happen in the fall. It's going to happen here in Sin City, your hometown. How do you feel about that matchup?
Anyone that thinks Crawford has a chance is a complete idiot. They have weight classes for a reason.
Too big? Too skilled?
Way too big, way too skilled. And this isn't a skill matchup. It has nothing to do with skill. It has to do with weight.
Bernard Hopkins, a legendary figure known for his intelligence and longevity, is highly confident in Crawford's chances, estimating an 85% probability of victory. Hopkins highlights Crawford's cerebral approach, patience, and tactical awareness, which could frustrate Canelo. He believes Crawford's adaptability and refusal to abandon his game plan might neutralize Canelo's counters and pressure. From Hopkins's perspective, Crawford's mental edge could be decisive, reshaping the fight's narrative. Conversely, David Benavidez sees Canelo's size and experience as decisive advantages.
Does he win? Can he beat him? Can he beat Canelo? Is his skill so much that he's able to bridge the weight classes?
He has a legitimate chance. Over 60% for his mind. If you say, Bernard, give me a number.
Give me a number.
He has an 85+ chance to beat Canelo. Why? He's not going in there to prove something, which will fall into Canelo's hand. He would love for him to prove something. That means you will stay there and try to prove something. But to go in there and to let him know, establish that from the first round, that I belong without showing that I am tough. I earned my position to be here. And I want to show you, even though you're being stubborn, that your time not only have came, but it's gone. He ain't gonna surrender and say I slowed up, so I'm gonna act like it. No, he has to be shown. And it has to be early.
Benavidez emphasizes that Canelo has spent his entire career at higher weights, becoming accustomed to handling strong opponents at 168 pounds. Crawford, on the other hand, is venturing into unfamiliar territory. For Benavidez, the comfort and familiarity of Canelo's experience at this level outweighs Crawford's skills. It's not a knock on Crawford's ability but a recognition that at the elite level, knowing your weight class matters deeply.
David Benavidez is choosing Canelo Alvarez to win over Terence Crawford. With that said, David Benavidez has finally given a straight and probably his final prediction for this fight, with him choosing Canelo Alvarez. Now, Benavidez, however, made it perfectly clear that despite him choosing Canelo Alvarez over Terence Crawford, this doesn't necessarily mean that he's actually rooting or backing up Canelo Alvarez. In an interview posted on the Rob's World of Boxing YouTube channel, David Benavidez explained that Terence Crawford, who's pretty much jumping 3 weight divisions in comparison to Canelo, who Benavidez views as a natural super middleweight, will be this fight's biggest deciding factor. Once again, Benavidez clarified that he's not saying that he wants Canelo to win. However, given the circumstances, his prediction is fueled by the weight division argument and not by his emotional or personal views regarding Canelo or Terence Crawford.
Tim Bradley offers a different view, highlighting Crawford's technical superiority. He sees Crawford as a fighter who can outthink and outmaneuver Canelo. Bradley emphasizes Crawford's ability to make adjustments mid-fight, which has allowed him to dominate across divisions. He believes Canelo's slower pace and reliance on timing could be exploited by Crawford's versatility, making him confident that Crawford's ring IQ and precision will lead to a decisive advantage.
Yo, real quick. Just got done. I woke up 3 a.m. I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo. Study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez. Yes, he is.
Ryan Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's longtime trainer, dismisses concerns about size disparity. He argues that Canelo, while fighting at higher weights, isn't an overwhelmingly large super middleweight compared to others. McIntyre views Canelo as a compact, strength-based fighter whose size isn't as significant as critics suggest. His confidence is rooted in his knowledge of Crawford's conditioning and preparation, believing Crawford has the physical tools to withstand and counter whatever Canelo brings.
Walk around big any goddamn way.
Right. Yeah. Now, Canelo is the bigger guy, right? But
he ain't the bigger guy.
That's what they say. They say he's wider, he's got more mass. How are you feeling about Bud going in there taking on Canelo's power?
But shit, I don't give a fuck about that power. Well, how you beat power?
Speed.
You said what?
Speed.
And what else?
IQ.
Timing.
That's why you're the coach and I'm not.
I mean, you make some good, you got some good answers, but that power ain't gonna be able to sustain throughout the fight. Watch. And he usually slows down between 6 and 7. You slow down, that's a fucking rat.
That's what
Robert Garcia, a renowned trainer, sides with Crawford, emphasizing skill over size. He points to historical examples where technique and ring craft have outweighed physical advantages. Garcia praises Crawford's patience, control, and timing, qualities he believes will be crucial in defeating Canelo. His stance reinforces the idea that boxing's true measure is intelligence, not just dimensions.
What are your thoughts on Canelo versus Crawford? Highly anticipated fight, quickly approaching.
Look, I know a lot of people are not very excited about that fight, and they think the size difference, huge difference, but Crawford's big, man. Crawford's a very strong fighter. He's a very smart fighter also. So look, the way Canelo's been fighting his last couple of fights, where he's just, looking for one punch at a time and maybe not doing enough to hurt his opponents, maybe not doing enough to finish them off. I could see Crawford pulling it off.
Decision.
I think Crawford could pull off a decision because he's fast, he's smart, and he doesn't need to run. He can stay around Canelo and just pretty much focus on winning a decision. Because I don't think he could knock out Canelo, but he could definitely win a decision.
Marcus Brown offers insight into Crawford's preparation, revealing that he actively seeks out bigger opponents in sparring, sometimes even heavyweights, to sharpen his resilience and reflexes. Brown argues this practice prepares Crawford for a fight against a strong, seasoned opponent like Canelo. His extensive preparation means Crawford won't be entering the ring unfamiliar with heavy shots, giving him both physical and mental confidence.
Just 2 more questions for you, man. Just would love to get your thoughts on. We got the mega fight, the big fight. Crawford, Canelo. Crawford said, forget all that, catch weight and anything like that. He's going straight up to 168. What do you think about that? How much of a chance do you give him, or who do you favor in that fight?
I got love for both of them. I like both of them. I'm a fan of both of them, but I'm going with Crawford. Typically fighters, they don't want to say who they want to go for because they don't want to be biased. Yeah. And much respect to Canelo, but I'm going Bud.
Is there a particular reason why? Like, you're a guy that's moved up in weight, so you know exactly what it feels like to get hit by these bigger guys. Is that something that's gonna play in the back of his head? Like,
of course,
gotta watch out.
It is, but it's not, because at the end of the day, it's not like he just got in there with somebody bigger than him. He's always probably been sparring with bigger guys. You know what I'm saying? It's that boxing IQ, which William Skull didn't put up no fight, but he showed somewhat of a blueprint to get this guy, in a space where he's confused. Yeah. And he can't touch his target that's in front of him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I just think Bud got that IQ.
Is that the same thing that you do in your fights? Because, like you said, your last fight was in 2023. That was your first time moving up. Obviously, you beat the guy pretty easily. But is that something where you just like, I know I can beat this guy, I know I got the skills, but yeah, he's a little bit of a bigger guy than me. I gotta,
Right, because this sport is about, hitting and not getting hit, swimming without getting wet, and taking the least amount of punishment. So, you gotta just, be smart and crafty in it.
Just last one for you. And I know you said you gotta be smart, crafty, and things like that. But I know you're also like a really prideful guy. Like I know a couple people that know you in Staten Island, and they always tell me, Mark's is a cool guy, a real prideful guy, never wants to lose at anything. You pick it. Motherfucker want to win at the
I hate losing more than I love winning.
Crawford's bold move up through the weight divisions is driven by legacy, not just ambition. Few fighters have successfully transitioned from welterweight to super middleweight while pursuing undisputed greatness. Crawford's meticulous preparation aims to ensure the added weight enhances his performance. This challenge isn't just about proving skeptics wrong, it's about making history by pushing beyond traditional boundaries.